folks. So we're approaching the end of 2025. It's been an amazing year for music across film, games, and TV. Thought I'd just do a quick last minute video to do a quick rundown of some of my favorite scores from the year. So in no particular order, here we go. One from earlier in the year, it's Mickey 17, another collaboration between Bong Joon-ho and Squid Game composer Jung Jae-il, this time with a darkly comic, piano-forward, often baroque score, laden with an aesthetic irony that perfectly accompanies the very real anti-capitalist dystopian tragicomedy. It's morose, hilarious in context, and expertly crafted. A real shame more people didn't see the film. Next up, we have Eddington. Daniel Pemberton and Bobby Kurlick take Western-inspired tropes and instrumentation through a characteristically absurd journey for Ari Aster's COVID-era Western, the latter having worked on Ari Aster's Beau is Afraid and Midsommar. Chock full of anxiety and bipartisan paranoia, it builds to some full-on modernist horror and thriller techniques, along with a lamenting solo horn line for this tale of futility in the wake of corporate power and influence. Extra points for the lack of music in the No Country for Old Men inspired climax. Next up, a more recent one, is One Battle After Another. Yet another team up for Johnny Greenwood with Paul Thomas Anderson. Greenwood's harmonic signature is front and center from the opening overture, with his avant-garde and percussive jazz sensibilities laced throughout the revolutionary narrative and its tense chase scenes. There's also a great little interdiegetic device using what sounds like a glass harmonica in the score for the French 75's Trust scanners. Very cool. Next up, not a film at all, it's Sucker Punch's Ghost of Yotei, the amazing follow-up to Ghost of Tsushima. Ghost of Yotei's story of vengeance in Japan's wild north on a pseudo-Hokkaido island often feels more Red Dead Redemption than its predecessor Ghost of Tsushima. New composer to the series, Tomo Otoa, borrows much of the bamboo flute significance from that first game, but adding the Japanese koto as a character centerpiece for Atsu's poignant themes for her epic story of vengeance and reconciliation. Music is a central element of peace in this otherwise bloodthirsty series. It's very postmodern but very earned Wild Westisms here really support the story and are seamlessly embedded into gameplay, as always. Next we have Tron Ares, the first score for Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross under their Nine Inch Nails moniker. The score for Tron Ares is unashamedly less ambient and more percussive techno than their earlier scores, with plenty of overtly video game derived lo-fi synth textures a la Stranger Things, with some huge beats and even Reznor on vocals. It's a fitting score for the franchise. While lacking any homage to the truly rich and pioneering work of Wendy Carlos's original, it suitably follows this franchise's trend of established electronic acts coming in to score this virtual world. Definitely one that works in isolation from the film as well as part of it. The next one's getting a lot of Oscar buzz, and it's Sinners. Ryan Coogler and Ludwig Göransson team up again for 2025 Sinners, a period gothic horror in the American South, scored by his typically trap bass heavy production style, on a backdrop of racial prejudice and black music as spiritual transcendence. His pop and hip-hop roots are on show more than ever, smothered in distorted blues and folk guitar and some devilishly heavy metal tunings. Special mention, of course, for the time-transcending surreal montage of black music, past, present, and future. Next up, we have The Smashing Machine. This incredibly juxtaposed score by Nala Sinefro for Benny Safdie's Mark Kerr biopic is remarkable for its cutting-edge ambient, electronic, and jazz crossovers, perfectly, serenely placed against the violence of UFC. There are sublime, delayed, clicky saxophone lines sounding like the lighter side of a Colin Stetson score, urgent improv drums with plenty of drama, and some beautiful harp work. One of the highest quality and unique debut scores I've heard for a very, very long time. Next up is the long-awaited return to the 28 Days Later franchise in 28 Years Later. Danny Boyle's directorial return to the franchise came with an equally idiosyncratic scoring choice in Young Fathers, bringing a uniquely poppy, halcyon-like quality to this, albeit terrifying, but simplified and occasionally carefree world. From roots in hip-hop, one major strength of the score is how various vocal samples are interwoven to create haunting textures for our lost humanity. And that's not always at the fault of the virus either. Some really unexpectedly beautiful string writing with original soulful vocal performances make this a truly poignant and stylistically very diverse score. I really hope they're back for the next one. So last but not least then is Begonia. Joachim Fendrix returns to his third Yorgos Lanthimos Emma Stone team up in Begonia, composing completely blind without the film having only a few key words and concepts. Fendrix uses overblown woodwinds, fortissimo brass, and polytonal string stabs and clusters for a fortuitously psychosis-inducing score conducted in a sense by Lanthimos himself as to where he decided to recontextualize the music outside of Fendrix's original intentions. This one is pretty special. So I'm sure there's going to be a ton of amazing scoring over film, TV, and games in 2026, and I can't wait to cover some of that for you guys here. Episode 10 in the series is currently being edited, and I'm hoping to get that out very early January, so keep your eyes peeled for that. Hope you have an amazing end to your 2025, and as always, I will catch you in the next one.